Talofa and welcome to Editor's Choice. Today's episode is brought to you by Ah Liki Wholesale. Today's focus is on the article, Court Rules Speaker to Swear in 3 Additional Women Parliamentarians. Don't forget, you can read this story and more on talamua.com. Let's get into it. The Supreme Court's decision, delivered on Tuesday, the 10th of May 2022, ruled that the Speaker of Parliament swear in the 3 additional women parliamentarians at the earliest opportunity. The 3 women MPs are Ali Malemanu Alofatu'au and Fa'angase Li'i sa Poa Feangiai of the Human Rights Protection Party, HRPP, and To'omata Nora Leota of the Fatotua Letua Samo Watasi, FAST Party. The decision gives some closure to the results of last year's general election, almost 13 months later. It also gives clarity for Parliament and the Speaker to swear in the additional women MPs following the political turmoil and the legal battles that follow the general elections. It also reaffirms the government mandate to govern. But looking at the 3 women parliamentarians and their eligibility is interesting. Ali Malemanu Alofatu'au was elected when the Electoral Commissioner activated the relevant section of the Constitution after last year's general election in order to ensure 5 women MPs are elected. At this time, both HRPP and FAST had 25 seats each and were waiting on an independent to choose which side to support. Ali Malemanu had the highest percentage of votes. At this time, the independent member had chosen FAST to form a new government, putting an end to HRPP's 36 years in power. So Ali Malemanu's appointment created what was to be a hung parliament, with 2 parties having 26 seats each. The legal challenges that followed had the court rule that 10% of women MPs in a 51-seat parliament is not 5, but 6 seats. This meant that 2 more women MPs were to be appointed. Last November, a by-election was called for Ale Pataitu Pailalo after the seat was declared void by the court for election malpractices. The final results had the seat go to FAST. But next up was a women candidate, Fa'angase Li'i sa Poa Feangiai of the Human Rights Protection Party, who held the highest percentage of votes, and she was eligible as the second woman to make up the 6 women in Parliament. But at that time, the Speaker refused to swear in the 2 women, as there were still legal challenges that may affect the women composition in Parliament when they were sorted. One such legal challenge was made by To'omata Nora Leota of FAST Party against the method used to calculate the 10% of women MPs. The court decision, delivered last week on Tuesday, the 10th of May, dismissed that claim, as the court had already ruled that 10% of 51 seats is 6 women MPs. But the statement of the claim gave the court a chance to examine the relevant sections of the Constitution. Their decision found To'omata Nora Leota eligible as an additional member of the Legislative Assembly under the Article 44(1)(a)(b) and 44(1)(e) of the Constitution. How this happened goes back to the results of the April 2021 general election, when a woman candidate was elected but later resigned. The elected woman MP was Leota Timaleavai from Falealupo. A lawyer by profession, she resigned the seat when faced with an election petition and made way for a by-election. However, there was no by-election, as a FAST member was unopposed when an opposition candidate was declared ineligible. But interestingly, according to the law, in order to maintain the number of women members in Parliament, if a woman member who was elected in the general election resigns and is replaced by a male in a by-election, then the woman candidate with the next highest percentage of votes must replace her. So this is how To'omata Nora Leota was eligible as an additional member of the Legislative Assembly under Article 44(1)(a)(b) and 44(1)(e) of the Constitution. She simply replaced Leota Timaleavai by virtue of those articles of the Constitution. On the other hand, Ali Malemanu Alofatu'au and Fa'angase Li'i sa Poa Feangiai are eligible to make up the 10% of women MPs pursuant to Article 44(1)(a), bracket A, bracket B, and 44(1)(b), bracket B of the Constitution. But the ongoing issues now exposed with the way and the law governing the election of women representatives in Parliament have given rise to a lot of criticism and some ridicule, as the law is subject to political manipulation. And with that, we'll take a short break to hear from our sponsor.
Hey, Siongi, le wo mal ka le media le okol maliu ya Aliki.
Eh, mamma, kiro ere como minka, o free go de me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yo mamma. Papa ngo pia Aliki me uma. Senga lo kangwa o mire balu o. Pai ufa como si. Au ngo am si.
Fa fenga I do nga mesa.
Ore makakalo ngo am si o le keshi ole Aliki.
Talofa Aliki sana mai.
Kokore chiki kele.
Vini Mailoa é nome assistente Ah Liki Wholesale.
The Minister of Finance, Mulipola Ana Rosa Ale Mulio'o, the very first woman to hold the position since Samoa became independent in 1962, is critical of the current method. As a woman candidate who was elected on her own merit against the male candidates she competed with, she says the current system belittles the integrity and status of women representatives in Parliament, and there is a need to review the current law. Government recently appointed a commission of inquiry to review the Electoral Act, given the multitude of issues that last year's general election exposed. The current method, that seeks to have more women representatives in Parliament, will certainly be one of the issues the commission should seek public views on. Meanwhile, in line with the court decision, the Speaker needs to swear in the additional women parliamentarians at the earliest opportunity. Parliament will reconvene at 9:30 today, Tuesday the 17th of May 2022. When sworn in, this Parliament will now have 7 women parliamentarians, the highest number of women MPs ever, and gives the government 31 seats and HRPP 22. Also remember that Tangangay Fomanga number 2 by-election is on Friday, the 3rd of June. When that seat is filled, this Parliament will now have 54 MPs, but the electoral constituencies remain at 51. That's our editor's choice for today. For details on this story and more, please visit our website, talamwar.com. Thanks for watching. God bless.